questions? Or just point that thing at me?
I was just going to point it at your closet.
Okay. You want some root beer? There's some in the fridge.
No, we don't.
Are you only going to mouth things at me while you're interviewing?
Huh?
You're only going to mouth things at me while you're interviewing? That's interesting. It's like a peg-leg camera.
So, what are you doing?
I'm packing because I'm going on this incredible trip.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Serbia and then I'm going to the Ukraine, and I can't wait.
So what are you doing there?
There's cat hair all over my pants. Hold on, I have to get a delinter. Say, where am I going? I'm going to Serbia.
Alright, so what's going on?
I'm packing for my trip. I'm trying to have clothes that don't have a lot of stuff on them to perform in, and clothes that I don't care about too much to travel in, and clothes that I love, so I'm happy. And then, I'm going to get on a plane, once I do all this and get all these clothes and presents and shoes into my backpack. I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to go to Serbia.
Where are you going in Serbia?
I'm going, I don't really know yet. I'm going to Belgrade first, and I'm going to be met by my friend there. Two friends and one of their girlfriends. And they're going to take me to get a train ticket and then to sleep at their house, at his house. And then they're going to put me on a bus, but I don't know where that bus is going to go yet. I have to call somebody named Milos in an office when I get there on Monday, and he'll tell me what town to go to. But apparently this guy that I'm going there to take trumpet lessons from this guy.
Right.
And apparently the guy lives in a very small town that is not on any map.
What's his name?
His name is Jovica.
And who is he?
He is an older trumpet player who apparently is really fantastic. Although I've never met him. I've heard him on CDs because Marion gave me some CDs to listen to when she found out who my teacher would be. He used to have a band, and I think, well, the story goes, as far as I can tell, in the early 80s he had his own band, or maybe the middle 80s, I don't know, when I was pretty young. And he won the Gucci competition a few times with that band. So at one time he was really a superstar. And then he was playing with Boban's orchestra, Boban Markovic, for a while. And that's when my band met him, because he came over here with Boban one time. Like maybe in 89 or something like that. I'm making that date up, but sometime a while ago. And they met him, and they said he's very nice and he's a great player. So I'm going to go take 3 days of lessons with him.
And then you're going to go to this festival in Serbia. So what's the deal with your band? What's the name of your band?
Zlatne Uste.
Zlatne Uste. What's that mean?
It's supposed to mean golden lips.
What does it actually mean?
I mean, it does kind of mean golden lips, but the words are spelled wrong. It's supposed to be Zlatne Usne.
Usne.
Yeah.
Right.
And if it was Zlatne Usne, it would be golden lips, and that's the idea.
Right.
Because there's a band that our band likes a lot. I think this is where they got the idea. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I think they got the idea from Zlatne Persti, who's Golden Fingers, which is the band that we studied with when we were there last time.
Right. So how long has Zlatne Uste been together?
I think this is 22 years, because I think it was the 20th anniversary the last time we went to Serbia.
Wow.
So 22 years.
Right. Who founded Zlatne Uste?
A group of people, including, I think, Michael Ginsberg and Marion Ines and Morgan Clark, maybe Paul. Paul's last name?
Morissette.
Paul Morissette, right. And probably Jerry Kisslinger. I'm not sure who else. Maybe not too many other people.
And how many times have they been to Serbia?
I think this is the 5th time for the band. And then I think some people have been there without the band. Like Emerson and I went, so I know Emerson's been there another time. And I think, well, Catherine's been to the Balkans a lot because she plays with Yuri. I don't know, basically.
Right. 5 times maybe. This will be the picture.
Yeah.
So what do the Yugoslavians think of Americans playing their music?
I think they like it a lot. I mean, I think they feel like Americans don't respect their culture very much.
Americans in general.
Right, because you know, we bombed the shit out of them for no good reason, as far as I can tell. We didn't do a lot of good, and we did a lot of damage. And, you know, it's like everybody listens to American music, and everyone thinks it's so great.
Everybody listens to American music in form of
Everywhere,
Yugoslavia.
but yeah, in the form of Yugoslavia too. You know, it's pop music. And
Right.
so I think for them it means a lot that we really care about their music. But sometimes they're really rude and awful, and they hate Americans a lot of the time. At least at the beginning, they hate Americans. I think basically they like us and they like that we play their music, but you know, it's a little touchy.
Touchy.
It's a little touchy. Yeah.
Well, how does that touchiness? How do you see that touchiness?
Well, like the big show of it was we got on stage to play this concert, our big concert last time we were there, and the audience started throwing things at us when we got on stage. They weren't very happy to see us. It was like prime time slot. It was like, you know, the midnight concert and blah blah. But then when we started playing, they stopped throwing things at us and they started singing and dancing and they seemed really into it and they clapped a lot when we finished. So, and you know, everyone said they loved it. I think they just didn't expect us to be for real about their music, and they were much more focused on the fact that we were Americans than the fact that we really liked their art and wanted to learn from them.
So the announcer said, "And now an American band."
Yeah, Zlatne Uste from New York.
From New York, and you got a lot of booze and stuff.
They're like throwing bottles and stuff.
That must have made you all very nervous.
It made me really scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if everybody quite noticed what was going on, because it just seemed that maybe some people didn't quite notice.
Right.
But, you know, by the time we got off stage, it was fine. And while we were on stage, there were a lot of policemen, so it's kind of like nothing really awful was going to happen, but it was it was scary.
Yeah.
You know, we'd been there for a few days, and we had a couple other scary experiences. And so we were like, oh no, it's going to go this way. That could have been awful.
Right. Just move over here.
Let's see what time it is. Where's my clock? Yeah.
So what does the clock say?
1:23.
And what time do you have to leave here?
3. But I'm hoping that, I mean,
You're going to get all this stuff on your bed into the bag?
well, that I'm going to wear. That part.
Quite a
I'm
bit
going
of
to do
stuff
this.
here.
I'll wear a lot of things. I'll wear all my clothes.
So all this thing, and you're going to take this
The
road with you?
camera is really big.
Yeah, the camera's really big.
I don't know if I should bring that camera.
Yeah.
But this is my clothes. That's going in, and I think it's going to fill up the whole bag.
Right.
And then once that happens, I'm kind of screwed because I have a lot of other things to put in the bag.
So tell me about Zlatne Uste. So they play traditional music.
You know what? I'm stupid.
What?
I think I have to do this again. Because I think my sleeping bag should go on the outside. Sorry, what did you say?
Tell me about Zlatne Uste. What do they do? What kind of music do they play? What are they interested in?
Zlatne Uste is a great band of people who have been doing this for a long time. And what do? They play Balkan brass music. And they, like, you know, everyone in the band has listened a lot. And most of the people in the band were folk dancers. Before they were, not before. Yeah, before. A lot of them were folk dancers before they were musicians. And some of them were musicians first, but I don't know. The folk dancing is like a huge thing for them. It's like this community that most of the band is very tight with and has a lot of history with, and so that's an interesting thing, that the band plays for dancers and really loves to know the dances. And Michael teaches dance, Balkan dance, and he's the leader of the band.
Mm-hmm.
And Lane's a big dancer, Morgan's a big dancer, Emerson's a big Norwegian dancer, Marion's a big folk dancer. I think Catherine's more like a musician first, and me and Gary and Matt Moran. Matt Smith, I think, is sort of like, he really loves to dance, but I think he was a trombone player for a long time before he joined the band. Emerson was a trombone player too. Michael played the trumpet like in grade school or something, and then picked it up again when he wanted to do this. Belle just learned her instrument to play in the band, I think. Gary's a great tuba player and a baritone player and plays all kinds of music. Is that everybody?
Matt Moran.
Matt Moran's a musician, professional musician.
And you have a special guest, Sam Salslasky.
Sato is a great musician.
Yeah.
He's a music
Right.
music guy.
So a lot of the band, I guess, you would say, formed when folk dancers wanted to actually play the music.
Yeah, well, they wanted live music to dance to.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of funny because, then now they're always playing and they're never dancing. Well, that's not true. I mean, they go dance, but like a lot of the biggest events, like the band puts on these huge events in town, and then they're playing all the time, and everyone else is dancing. But it's fun. Does that answer that question about who they are?
Yeah, so they're Americans who play.
They're Americans who
traditional.
play.
And what is
Yes,
what is the
traditional
instrumentation
Balkan
of a Balkan brass band?
They're all trubas. They're, the way that we think of like a violin, and then you have like, basically there's a violin, viola, cello, and double bass are like all violins. They're like bass, tenor, whatever. They call them all trubas. There's a bass truba and there's a truba, which is what I play. Trumpet, but it's that one. And baritones and drums.
Mm-hmm. So they call it baritone a truba too?
I think so.
So the instrumentation is tuba, baritones, trubas, and drums.
Tuba, baritone, truba, and drums. Right.
They call them all trubas. I didn't know that.
I don't really know what they call baritones, but I can't remember. But I know they say like bass truba, or just bass.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just means pipe. Truba. I don't think it means much. I think it just means pipe.
Really?
Yeah.
It just means pipe?
I mean, in their language it has two meanings. That word means pipe or it means trumpet or horn.
Right.
Like in Russian, it's like that too. Can't remember what the word is. What is the word? Yeah, truba. Trumpet is a truba.
A truba.
And I think truba is just a pipe.
Uh-huh.
I got these really cool pants. Check it out. The legs zip off.
Oh my god.
Now I have to zip them back on to pack them.
Where'd you get those?
EMS.
Yeah, those are cool.
They're super cool.
Yeah.
They're the only pants I'm bringing.
I'll get a pair, really? And you decided to get light ones?
They didn't have any others. The only ones in my size in the whole place.
Light colored ones.
I didn't get the pink. I think it has an R on it. Just told me it's the right leg. That's so smart.
So what is I've heard many different theories of how these brass bands got started and where they came from, and what's your theory on this? Like in general in the Balkans.
Well, I don't really know anything about it, but from like just listening to older people talk, it sounds like there were a lot of instruments left over from army brass bands, and then village people like didn't have any income or way to make money, and they picked up these instruments. Some of them learned in the army, I guess, because they were drafted. World War II, I think, and then they started playing, and now like there's almost no employment among the gypsy population, the Roma population, and so like a lot of them make crazy money playing this music. I mean, it's not crazy money for us, but it's like really a significant income for them, especially when there's festivals and weddings and what have you. So it becomes a big deal. Like in these little villages, it's like you go over there and there's you drive down the street and there's just all these little kids like in their underwear playing the baritone, kind of running around in bare feet like it's their tricycle. They're just playing the baritone because that's what's around. They're all like dented up and a big mess.
What would you say that most of the musicians you've met over there are Roma?
Wait, hold on. I have to think about something. I have to figure out if I have enough warm clothes. I need some more underwear. Tights, long underwear? What do you think?
Tights.
Because they're smaller, right?
Right. Would you say that most of the musicians are Roma that you've met over there playing this kind of
Yeah, I
music?
don't talk to the Serbs.
You don't
I
what?
try not to talk to the Serbs.
You try not to talk to the Serbs.
Yeah, I try not to deal with the Serbian musicians.
Are there Serbian musicians?
There are Serbian bands, white bands, they call them. Yeah.
They call them white bands? Who calls them
white bands and black bands.
Really?
Yeah, Serbian bands and gypsy bands.
They call them white bands and black bands?
Yeah.
Is there anything, does that have anything to do with the title of Kusturica's movie, White Cat, Black Cat?
That's an interesting idea. Probably it does, I don't know. Would make sense, right?
Mm-hmm. So, can you tell the difference between Romas and Serbs?
Of course.
The way they look, they are that much darker?
Yeah, and they're completely different shape and size and features. They look very Indian. When we went to India, everybody looked like a gypsy to me. Like really like that. Not just a little bit. Alright, I can't show my underwear on the movie.
So how do they, do you hear a difference in the white bands versus the black bands, so-called?
Do I hear a difference?
Are they playing different music? Are their styles different? Are their, approach different? Are they more or less musical? Do you notice anything like that?
I'm a little bit stupid about that kind of thing. Like, perhaps that's not the most. I'm a little bit, like, obtuse about it or something. Like, I tend to not hear, like, it's hard for me to tell, if music is from a certain area or if it's played by a certain person. Like, I just don't hear that stuff so much. I tend to hear, a melody or an interval or a rhythm pattern, and it doesn't connect to me so much for those things. I think other people can. Like, I bet if you asked, Morgan or Belle or Marion, or maybe not Belle, I don't know. If you ask some other people in the band, they might say, oh yeah, for sure. And I think I probably should be able to say that, but the truth is that I can't. I mean, maybe I could. I never tried really closing my eyes and saying, who's that, but.
So there's no real distinct noticeable difference necessarily in
Well,
your ears.
I mean, I think they're just better. I think the gypsies are just better.
More
Better
fluent with their instruments. Or just better musicians.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Serbs play from such an early age. Maybe they do. I really don't know.
So how's the music evolved in the last, you've gone now 3 times, right?
This will be the third time.
This will be the 3rd time. Did you notice that the music is evolving, or the repertoire is evolving, or something sort
Yeah,
of,
it
there's
is
a kind of
changing.
style every year you go
It
that,
definitely changes.
that, is exciting or, really gets the people excited?
Well, it's always like there's some favorites, like things from the Kusturica films, or there's always like this, usually the tunes that won the festival last year before or something, those become big hits. And then everybody just wants to hear those tunes, so people request those tunes. Sorry, I have to count my underwear. I don't know how many days of underwear I need. And 3 pairs of socks plus a hiking pair?
Yeah. 4 pairs. 3 pairs.
They're so big. Anyways, I'm gonna wear sandals most days. I'm just bringing my sneakers to hiking. Okay. Anyways.
This is a Truba. Oops.
Yeah.
Gonna bring your New York hat to give to people?
Nope. I bought other New York hats to give to people.
So how'd you get involved with this music?
I was playing.
How long have you been playing? When did you start playing trumpet?
I was little.
Mm-hmm.
I was 10 when I started playing trumpet.
Why did you choose the trumpet? Do you remember?
I had played the violin, and it was a miserable disaster. And I knew I wanted to play something that was like, loud and not like squeaky and fragile. And I was always kind of messy, and so I really wanted to be like, not have to worry about, like, I wanted something that was just like, I could be like, hey, here's my instrument, grab it and play it. And I didn't want to deal with that. Like, oh, this is too quiet, it's gonna break, it's out of tune, all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely, why I wanted to play brass, or part of why I wanted to play brass. And then I also I heard a lot of jazz, and I really loved Dixieland. I was listening to Dixieland because my dad was always listening to Dixieland.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved it.
So at the age of 10, you were offered an instrument and you chose the trumpet.
Well, I had been offered an instrument, I've been playing the recorder, like, in these ensembles for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you say you're kind of messy?
Yeah, I tend to be a little bit messy.
So you like the trumpet?
Well, the trumpet itself is quite neat. Can you move? I need that chair. But, I really liked the sound of the trumpet. I liked that it was a melody instrument, but that it was like a sort of strong sound,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it had a lot of the qualities. My mom played the double bass and the cello, and I sort of felt, I think, I really liked those lower sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I heard her playing that much at that early an age, because she was pretty busy taking care of me.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't play that much cello either, but I don't know. I liked low sound, but I wanted to play melody, and
Right.
I liked brass. It was like really strong and fun.
Right.
And
So the strength of the instrument appealed to you.
yeah.
Yeah. So then what did you do? How did you take lessons? Who did you study with?
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
my mom found me a trumpet teacher who was this guy, Richard Green, who was just great. Really great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And he became, a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me lessons from when I was 10 till I was 16, 17? 16, I guess. At 16, I left. How many t-shirts do I have?
And you played in school bands?
Yeah, I played, like, in school band, and I played in trio, and I had to play in marching band. I hated that. And it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it, I played, and I did All-State one year, and I auditioned for All-State, got in, and
Can
then
you
was
hold up
told I
that
couldn't
t-shirt
play.
for us?
Sure. It's our t-shirts.
That's right.
Batya made them.
Let's see.
They're beautiful.
Right.
This is annoying though, because they're big, and
Let's
I
see
need to
the
bring
back
them.
one.
I'm going to bring some to give away as presents.
Great. So then you played trumpet all through middle school and high school, I take it?
Right, and then just trying to think who I should give these to and how many I should carry. They're so annoying. I don't think I need to bring small ones. I guess this is the one I'm going to wear. Maybe this is the one I'm going to wear. Yeah, this is the one I'm going to wear. Then I went to college and I played in like a silly college rock band. It was really fun.
What was their name again?
The Lentils, if you must know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to, in college I played a lot of things. I played orchestra and I played band and I played that other band and I played something called Pro Musico, which was like, medieval music. And
So what happened? You moved to New York?
yeah, then I moved to New York and I started playing klezmer music. And I loved playing klezmer music. And then, people who were playing klezmer music were also people that, Jesus, forgot about this. Death stuff. Were also people that Sorry, I'm having trouble here.
Do you want to take a break?
Yes.